สวัสดีค่ะ and thank you very much คุณ Sumi. I didn't know that I have such a long experience. You might wonder, my topic today is actually entrepreneurship and what's connection between UN Women and entrepreneurship development programs. So at UN Women's, what we would like to do is that we do not want to keep the status quo. So I bring just only a little bit of a statistic since our Dr. Nisha before me has already presented what's the usual UN Women's presentations. But now we can see that only 46% of women in the labor force across Asia and the Pacific nowadays, and many more lacks of powers and accessibilities, as well as even the confidence to make their own choices. What more, we believe that women's needs must be at the center of if we want to create an inclusive, resilient, and thriving economies. This is not just about fairness, it is about better societies and strong markets for everyone. And that is the missions that women economic empowerment of the UN Women would like to achieve. But why we would like to focus on women entrepreneurs as a leader yourself in the industry? So you might want to know that there are some huge gaps for women entrepreneurs who you might be able to help. So women entrepreneurs face right now, and this is the statistic from Krungsri Bank in 2019, 25 billions financial gap that is in US dollar, and that is translate into like 61% of the entire financial needs for the entire Thai MSME. So that is very, very huge gap to be filled in. Moreover, only 40% of women-owned business feels like they have enough or sufficient skills that they need in order to thrive. Well, this sometimes also because of our social norm that makes the women's business feels like they might be lacking. They might want to think that they will need to achieve 100% in order to be called having a sufficient skills. But there are some truth into that as well. Women entrepreneur may face another barrier. For example, more realistic burdens in raising and caring for family. Child care, elderly care, the unpaid care responsibility women usually have to shoulder. For example, in Thailand, is 3 times more hours than what our counterpart, what men do for the families. And when we look at the gap from the procurement market, the number is even higher than that. So around the globe, the number of procurement markets was 11 to 13 trillion US dollar for the government's procurement, and 46 trillions adding more into that for corporates or private sectors procurement. One in 3 business are owned by women, so that's 30%. But these 30% is holding only one share in getting or winning the bids from procurement for both government and private sectors. So that is a very low number. So what we are trying to do here in our entrepreneurship development program must not be just only training them to do business, to have financial literacy. They might already have even like those checkbox, but we want to also urge the business people in the room, the buyers, to practice what we call inclusive procurement or social procurement or whatever other term, gender responsive procurement, whichever ones that might sound better to your ears. So how do you do that? So by expanding the business relations with more diverse group of entrepreneurs, of suppliers. It could be women-owned business, marginalized people, people of disability-owned business, minorities, and other underserved groups. In order to do that, you may need three things: to ensure representations, outreach, and to access to the right network. Moreover, you might want to consider helping them tackling their major barriers. Mentioning two just now is financing and skills. By helping them reaching their financing doesn't always mean we have to hand them monies. It can also be that look at your value chain and all those regulations, what else you can do to process this financial gap. For example, credit term to shorten them so that their financial leeway is more available for them to do something else. Skills, you don't have to provide them the business essential skill, all those business canvas, course, etc. But how about providing them with the knowledge that they need to achieve in your procurement process? What do you need in terms of being your sustainable suppliers? So in this way, it is not only helping them success in your procurement process, it's also helping you to have the supplier that adhere to your code of conduct. So both win. I have 1 minute left, so I'm just going to skip my own program and jump into this impact that we would like to create or that we envision. So I'm going to tell the story of these two young ladies. They are from Narathiwat province. The enterprise called Nara Global, so one of the SME we support. So the idea of the entire program is to address that missing middle SME, for them to thrive to the top, to the large corporates buyers. And while doing that, uplift their communities. So what these two do, they bring the scientific or food science knowledge from their graduations into their traditional beekeeping community. So Nampung Chanarong, if you know that. And within that community, they support women who might lost their family member, especially male, who led the family before in a political unrest situations in the deep south of Narathiwat. So in this way, the business not only helping them to thrive, but also the entire community with them. We have called this program a hashtag, when women lead. And when women lead, we rise. Thank you very much.